What up, my devil? Sensei Tutum here with another video for ya. Focused on trading Bitcoin, Fibonacci trading competition. It's been the focus of my time on the markets the last couple of weeks, helping the members out, even though I'm not in the competition. So it's a no-brainer that I'm going to talk about trading the Bitcoin. Been showing them a lot of setups, fewer this week because, like I said, last week I had some time off. That's why I was able to actually dig in and, would have at least been a good member in the competition for a week had I known I'd be off. But back to normal schedule this week, so not quite as many setups. More on the 15 minutes chart than like the 2. Although you'll see, found that what was actually the best quality trade of the entire competition, in my estimation, that I've identified. One of the few that I've actually been able to take myself, and of course, it's dojo quality. So I went hard, did well, happy with myself. Unfortunately, like only one guy got it, and he said he only got a small piece of it. But we'll talk about it. Looking at a trade right now, actually, it was right before I started recording this video. Saw this about to pop out of consolidation. Alerted the guys. Hey, actually, I can bring up the old Discord here. Let's see. I'll show you exactly what I alerted to. About to pop out. Saw it saying, "Hey guys, time to go." So hadn't spent time on this. Have the triangle trend lines. Not sure if it is. Just sat down, started analyzing, hadn't looked at it in a few hours. Saw this, knew we were coming for a pop, and we did, as you saw, but we didn't quite meet my target. If it's a triangle, the post-triangle thrust, which is a very safe target out of a triangle, is actually quite higher than this. And not having done the due diligence, I've been targeting this median line forever. I'll show you that too, I'm sure, through these slides. I've been targeting this median line forever, so I just figured go with that, and we'd be safe. And then this son of a gun went right to 1-to-1 this move and rejected back in, but it didn't break this trend line. So I didn't advocate a bail unless we break this trend line, and then now hopefully we're pushing up here. It's but the way it's going, I would say it's probably not a triangle, but should be getting towards some exhaustion in this trend. Very likely that we would probably meet this median at a short the market signal. Doesn't mean short immediately, just a short signal that you would probably potentially want to get short. We'll see if it happens. Not sure that it will. By the time you see this video, that circumstance will be long gone. Yeah, so we'll see if it meets that criteria at that point. So let's go back through, and this isn't everything. I didn't go through and compile everything we've talked about, but there's been some actual misses. This is that one that we just brought over. Okay, there's that one actually out of place, but we could talk about it now. So these aren't exactly in order. So this is that really high quality one that I showed you. People always like to say, you can't trade Elliott Wave on the low time frames. This is the 2-minute chart here. I used to trade 2-minute charts like all the time, before I had a kid. Now I have 2, and yeah. Anyway, 2-minute charts the patterns are there just like anywhere else. You just have to understand how to trade this. Knowing Elliott Wave Theory doesn't mean you can trade it. It's not a trading strategy, right? So you have to implement your own trading strategy off of it. And it's super easy and obvious how to do that, but nobody, it's not very sexy, so nobody wants to do it. But this is exactly the highest quality entry you can find. I found a 5-wave move that was in the direction of the previous move, so with the trend after a lower low, right? Or a higher low, I should say. So, and not to mention, if I zoom even further out, you guys know we've been in an uptrend for quite some time, right? So I've got a 5-wave move in the direction of the trend. I've got what looks to be a very bullish shallow consolidation. So a lot of times people are just, that follow TDU and things like that. Sam, I got missed because I wasn't at the 50. I actually alerted the guys that you put your entries where you want, but I would potentially do it now. And I didn't say market buy, but that's what I did immediately. Right here, I market bought. This is actually after I market bought. Yeah. Because it looked like it was going to be a shallow, right? A shallow retracement. And I was, it's not like I market bought a full position, but, I would have gone more, but I go heavy on high quality trades. So I'm very happy. I only got the one fill. I would have bought more had it come down further. But in any event, shortly thereafter, we got that. Boom. Now, right to the top of the channel of this base trend, 1-to-1, conservative target. Again, you know what your risk to reward is, so you know how much you're playing for. Didn't quite get that. I dumped that. I said trade over here. I believe it kept going up. I don't remember exactly, but it didn't go in a straight line up. But this is where I'm happy with taking that trade. I don't, if it goes up to the 1618 and becomes a wave 3, great. But the way that I saw it is, I'll take the quick good money. So yeah, especially down here on the 2-minute when everything has been 3 waves. Yeah. I got a potential finish 3-wave. Yeah, I'm done. But again, I think it did keep going up. So moving on to the next one, had this trade just like some of the trades I showed you last week, a little breakout trade. Now, this turned out to be a good call. However, if I know that some guy, I think that this actually worked out for the 1 or 2 guys that was, paying attention and took this, because I don't think they got out when it broke down below. Said this was actually a great spot to enter. I had been talking about longing this forever. And I don't know if anybody, and at this point, so there's other pictures of this pattern forming that's, was saying time to get long. But if you hadn't, I posted this one like good time now, because it's sort of a binary entry. Because if you break this trend line, generally, in the way I trade these, probably going to be out. So I would have got stopped out. I wasn't taking that one myself. Would have got stopped out, but it went straight to target right after. See this wick down? Straight to target right after. And I think the 2 guys that were paying attention actually didn't take that stop wisely. Good on them. And hopefully they secured all their profit there. I'm not sure that they did. Although I think it kept going. No, we're still working towards this median. And yeah, we're out of order here because we're going to come back and talk about this. And I've been long bias since here, actually, I believe. So yeah, we'll talk about that, and then I advocated another long here, but we'll get over to that. And I've been long biased for this median since, and we still have yet to meet it, as you saw on the live chart. We're working towards it, and that's what this particular trade, although double top. Yeah, I want to look at that and tell the guys. I'm not going to update the guys live here, but yeah, I don't see any immediate signs of dumpage. Still want this median. It's conservative. Anyway, thinking out loud there with you. Where was I? Okay, so there was those little pop trades, and then now we're going to reverse in time to show you this is the bottom pivot. Well, this isn't. This is the potential back before it happened. Bottom pivot of that pitchfork that we were just looking at. That one. This pitchfork is this pivot low. So was looking at this back here. This is after we had the straight dilly down, and I was just expecting a 3-wave and then another move out of it, as we've been getting over and over again. So I believe we had some guys long in here, in which I told them, okay, if you want to, but the short would be the better play, even though this long was the best play. And I know that Monty and the Trade Devils account have got both of those moves played that well. So then once we had made this pivot, and then we had this motive off of it, or at least proposed potential motive, I was showing that this was the next entry. Just playing basically for the same thing that I showed you back here, right? Not quite as high quality, right? So same thing. And then we had all this confluence lining up of the 1-to-1 this move with potentially running into this median. This parallel with this corner pocket of this move, right? And then we also had some VPVR stuff that's not on the chart. Keep it clean. But it was a nice confluence area. But then we're out of order. But then we... I can't be it, is it? Yeah, but then... So then we got down to there, but we got here faster than expected. So we started to put a tweezer in here, and this is actually the 15-minute chart, which is high time frame for this competition in my mind. So we started putting the tweezer. So I went ahead and drew the fork, drew the trigger line, and told the guys, you know, we're long here, but I'm not really feeling it after this. And then just like that last trade where I would have got stopped out, I pivoted quickly thereafter but you know, really when you're taking this trade, you're happy anywhere in here, and you really don't want to stop till after this, right? So this is the trigger line of the pitchfork. It's actually needs to be pulled up. It's not pulled all the way up here, so it would come to this pivot. But yeah, you're happy to be in it here, and then you really don't stop until after the trigger. That's just pitchfork trading 101. If you don't know how to do that, you got to join up. But then we broke through the bottom. So the 1-to-1 broke through. Then the base trend channel to project, we broke through. Remember, like on this trade, that's where I was taking profits, right? Because that's where it's supposed to end. But when you break through it, you can turn into like a wave 3. So in this case, we then again immediately started printing another on the 15, another scissor at the parallel. So we broke through, and I had posted the chart saying I don't like longs after this, but immediately I posted, you know, we're actually good here, and if you did get stopped, you can even long again. And this long is still on, as far as I know. I don't know if all the guys that took it are still in it, but as far as I'm concerned, this long is still on and has never been off. And there's been trades within it that I showed you back over here because we're out of order. Back these after it, I believe. Anyway, so there's that. Just showing that thing one more time. Yeah, and that's it. For now. Oh, I skipped these. Oh, this was just showing that we had a completed 3 wave, which is then when we drew, because for this, then we had this showing, because remember A, B, C, right? This is that A. Then we had put in the B, the C, showing completed 3 wave. This is where we drew our pitchfork at this point. You know, this pitchfork, this bigger pitchfork here. So a little bit out of order, but you know, it's trading, boys. This is just an algo play that we showed. Yeah, so this is just an algo play, and then this was shortly after entry, showing that we're going to this area, and this was showing that we made target 1, but we got up into here, which was the original target all to begin with. So that was another winner chicken dinner. And yeah, so just that got those trades those lower degree trades out of the way. But throughout this competition, I keep getting asked, you know, well, what about this? What about this on the 4-hour, the 1-hour chart? Let's get out of here. This one's 1 hour. So I keep getting asked, you know, about all these different possible pattern combinations and patterns for this mess here. As I showed you last week, I had this as an expanding diagonal that then it looked like, and it potentially was, that we then satisfied barely right here, because you would expect to quickly retrace the length of the diagonal. And generally, you're going to do much more. We didn't get much more. But a lot of guys want to put me to tell, you know, help validate them with their counts through here. And I keep saying it doesn't matter. Just trade it 1 wave at a time. Competition or no, trade it 1 wave at a time. Okay, if you're looking to load bags, yeah, and you're like worried that it's not going to come down, that's a very valid worry, and I agree, and I have the same one, and I'll talk about that in a second. But if you're just trying to make regular trades at trading degree, 4 hours, even 1 hour, 4 hours, it's tough, because this is, you know, showing divergences over and over and over again, on multiple divergences, bearish and bullish. So it's quite the quagmire at the degree we're looking at. I don't know if you see those exactly on this degree, no, but if we look over here on the 4 hour, and those yellow lines aren't to show that it's a diagonal, although it could potentially be an expanding ending diagonal. leading. Who the hell knows? And that's the point of all this. Is look, this is to show that we have higher lows, lower lows on the RSI, lower highs on the RSI, higher highs on the price. This is called bearish divergence. This is called hidden bullish divergence. So we have these dueling divergences on this time frame. We have all of these potential possibilities. And you know what, man, at the end of the day, you just have to know your market. And I hate to say it because I wanted it to come down, but I feel freaking bullish. I mean, look back through the history of Bitcoin, like all these places where we thought we would see a larger retracement. This is the one that I'm highlighting currently for this, where we thought we would see a larger retracement and it just never came down. It just never came down. And then it went up and up and up. That's what it feels like. You got to know your market. And if we get external to this trend line, smash market. I mean, and ride the bitch to 20. Like, I don't know what it's going to do, but you know, if we get external to this, do not be shy to buy. I don't care what the RSI says. But to try to make a highly probable Elliott Wave analysis of this pattern, it's folly. You should not. There isn't one. And as I showed you, just the simple little tiny 5 waves here, 3 waves there, make a trade. That is how you profitably trade Elliott. I'm going to make a course to teach that basic, simple concept with, you know, obviously, I'm going to include the background of the analysis methods used within it, not just, you know, assume that you know what a pitchfork is and how to use it, or that you have Elliott, you know, in the back pocket. So basic Elliott, basic pitchfork, basic algos, teach all that and how to trade it, because I think anybody can pick it up and learn it and do it simply. The problem is when you guys try to make it so complicated. I mean, do any of these charts look complicated? You know, I don't even throw the Elliott on there when I'm just, you know, doing it for myself. But you got to keep it simple. 1, 2, 3 waves, long bias. And we've been long bias since then, you know. Simple pitchforks. Yeah, so getting back to Bitcoin, I keep getting asked the question, well, could it be this? Could it be this? Could it be this? I don't care what it could be, because the better you are at Elliott Wave, the more you will look at a pattern almost always see a multitude of other options, right? Where there's no violations here. It's like, okay, what? There's no violations. Do you have what we consider probable relationships? You know, like one of them I've gotten from multiple students now, so it's not just one of you guys if you're watching the video, but where they had the we'll go down to the 1 hour. And I don't want to make this too long, but this is you know, if you're going to trade Bitcoin, or Bitcoin, of course, but Elliott Wave, you have to understand that the theory itself is not a trading method. So if you think that every pivot shown on Elliott Wave is a good trade, you're going to be highly disappointed, and then you're going to be one of the guys on Twitter telling me, Elliott Wave doesn't work. No, you don't work. I'm telling you, you just gotta treat it simply. Trade the highly probable relationships, right? 5 waves, then 3 waves, then 5 waves. See, or 3, you know, it's in your direction. That's the easiest, best trade. You know, we have a triangle, and then, you know, it's the last pattern in a pattern. It's the last subwave in a pattern, before you would at least retrace the entire pattern, of which is consisted within, you know, the triangle is, you know, let me rewind. If you have a triangle, it is the final actionary, or it is the final corrective pattern actually it's just the final pattern, subwave pattern of a larger pattern that's going to be finishing. So wave 4, wave B, wave Y, wave Z, right? It's the final pattern before the you know, you get a entire, you know, you get one more actionary after it, and then you get an entire correction of the whole thing at least, or, you know, you go off in the other direction on a larger degree. I hope that makes sense. We're way too far in the video for me to stop and restart, but that was a horrible explanation. But you look for these highly probable things, like triangles, and I promise, if you ever joined, I've got a lot better explanations of what triangles are, how to trade them, than what I just tried to give you there. But, you know, this is a free video. So you get the free explanation. But yeah, you look for the highly probable stuff, and that's how you make money trading Elliott. You don't just pick every pivot. You just don't identify a possible outcome and then say, oh, well, this is possible, I'm gonna go for that. No, you want what's probable. I don't care what's possible. There's many possibilities within here, and none of them are high enough probability that I would risk money based on that count, right? There's other things that we can use in our tool belt, right? Algos, like I said, knowledge of the market, geometry tools, all kinds of things, support and resistance, whatever it is, whatever else you have in your bag. Wyckoff, you know, you don't have to exclusively have Elliott. And in fact, I think that's foolish to do that. Although if I had to have one thing, I'm taking Elliott, right? If I'm going to a desert trading island, I'm taking Elliott, and that's it. But anyway, yeah, trade Elliott based on highly probable outcomes. Trying to tell me that you have a highly probable pattern, and here it's just not true. So I've ranted about that long enough. Rant off. But yeah, keep it simple. This shit right here is not simple, right? So now if I zoom in and see shit like this, that's super simple, and that lives inside of this. That's fine. Or if I zoom out even further, like if you're a long-term bull, buy fucking right now. Like if you're just looking to, should I buy Bitcoin and have it? Yeah, buy it right now. You know, to steal a comment out of Tone Vase's book, the best time to buy Bitcoin was yesterday. And you know, when he used to say that, I used to think it was like shilling, but no, it's true. If that's all you care about is like, should I own it? Should I have it? Stop trying to time the market if you're that guy. Just fucking buy it. Buy some today, buy some tomorrow, buy some once a month, once a year, once every other paycheck, whatever if you're a Bitcoin bull and you just want to have it, just get it. If you want to be an Elliott Wave trader, find a highly probable, simple pattern, perfect it, trade it over and over and over again, and pay your house off. All right, boys, that's it. Toot out.